Hi. Hi, Marianne Croce here from Small Biz Advantage and the creator of 3-Day Weekend System. And I am so glad to be here each and every day, each and every week, I should say, to do these lives. I call them Auto Shop Success in 15 minutes. And I do them for a couple of reasons. The first is for you to be able to shift your perspective, the way you look at your business, and really turn that into your competitive edge. The second reason is for you to take one action item away each and every week. You can listen to me, you can listen to someone else, listen to a podcast, read a book, but I can't stress enough how the changes, the results, the magic that happens comes from the doing, the things that you do consistently. And being able to look at your business from this 30,000-foot view is so important. We are so caught up as business owners, auto shop owners in the day to day, that it's hard to step away and look at the bigger picture. So investing 15 minutes a week isn't a lot of time, but it can really cause a ripple effect in your business. This week, we got a little bit of a late start here. I apologize, but had some technical issues, but I decided to still do the live, right? Because that's reality. Stuff happens, but we still go on. We still get things done. So this week's topic is stop managing, start leading. And I wanted to do this for a while because clients and shop owners and even business owners that I talk to constantly talk about their team, constantly talk about managing and leading. And there is a little bit of a misunderstanding between the two. So most owners, most shop owners think that they're leading, but what they're doing is they're managing. They're keeping the wheels turning. They're making sure the work gets done. But here's the problem. If you're always managing, your team never grows strong enough to lead with you. You rob them of that joy. You rob them of that sense of confidence, a sense of accomplishment. So when you think about this, when you stop managing every detail and you start leading people, your shop doesn't fall apart. It finally comes together. That's where the magic happens. And I want to share a story with you in a moment, but a really simple explanation of this is we manage activities. We manage our day-to-day. We manage outcomes, the results that we want. In a shop format, it's the throughput. It's the flow of the shop. What we do when it comes to people is we don't manage people. We actually lead people. And that is a big difference. So 2 terms that I want you to keep in mind when you think of this is project manager. We manage projects and we want those projects to have a timeline. We want them to have an end date, and then we're going to move on to the next project. Those are activities. So you've heard that term, project manager. But when we speak of people, we think of a team leader, a person who leads a team. And that's really there to develop people, to find out where their roadblocks are, and to really encourage them and find out what they need to grow to support them. So that's really the difference here. And once you understand that, once you see that, it really is amazing how the different opportunities in your shop will come up and will appear. So the story that I want to share with you is think about a day when you had to step away, because it's happened to me in our early days, because I'm still a shop owner. Maybe it was for a meeting, maybe it was a parts issue or a personal appointment, but whatever it was, you happened to step away from the shop for a period of time. Okay. Maybe you were going a half a day. What happened in the shop? And even if this was a longer time period, maybe you were gone for a whole day or a couple of days or even a week, what happened in the shop? Did things flow or did everything stall until you got back? Was everything put on hold? Did people not know how to handle certain situations that arose or came up? That's the difference between a managed shop and a led shop. A managed shop works because you're there. It's managed. You're there. You are overseeing every part of it, every area of it. A led shop works whether you're there or you're not there. Okay. So let me give you an analogy here. Management is like your alignment rack. It keeps things straight. Leadership is the steering wheel. It gives direction. So you need both. One is not more important than another. You need both. But if you only focus on alignment, then that vehicle never goes anywhere. It's aligned, but it's not going anywhere because we have nobody behind the steering wheel. So when you think about this shift. So what does it look like to move from managing to leading? Because that's what a lot of people are doing. And the reason why I think this is happening is because a lot of owners came from the technical side of automotive. So they're used to managing their own workflow, managing the work that they have to get out in a day. So when they switch to that owner hat, it's very natural for them to step into that management side. So when we talk about this shift, this transition, how do you do it? How do you move from the managing to actual leading? Because to a lot of owners, initially leading sounds kind of like fluff. It doesn't sound like it really has any meat on it. So don't underestimate it, because after 26 years plus of owning a shop, I can tell you that it is a huge game changer. So there's 3 small shifts that happen. You go from telling to teaching. So instead of saying, do this next, ask, what's the next step here? Or what do you think the next step here is? Because now what you're doing is you're building confidence by letting people think. You're building that confidence up, and getting that confidence also helps with accountability as well. You go from number 2 here, you go from checking work to building confidence. When something isn't perfect, don't jump in to fix it. And that's easy to do, right? It's very easy to put that superhero cape on and say, it's just quicker if I do it myself. It's easier if I do it myself, instead of explaining everything. I've heard it all the time. So instead, when something doesn't go right, when it's not perfect, instead of jumping in to fix it, ask, what did you learn? That's what you want to ask. You want to see where their line of thinking is. You're training problem solvers, not order takers. There's a big frustration in the industry about, on the technical side, is someone a true specialist, really honing their craft and their skills, or are they part changers? That's a huge, huge conversation that can be up for debate by many, and has been up for debate by many. So when you're looking for problem solvers, right? Those are the type of people that we want in the industry and we want to hire. We don't want order takers. That's what you're helping them do. And then the third one, from control to trust. Leadership is giving context, not control. So you're giving a person a situation and you're saying, what do you do now in this situation? It's not by controlling them. So great way to do this is, here's what success looks like. How can we get there? So you tell them, this is what it looks like. This is how The shop is going to succeed. This is how you are going to succeed. Now, how do we get there? And get their input. So what do you think about these three? From telling to teaching, from checking work to building confidence, and from control to trust. What do you think about those three? I'm curious, whether you're live or you're on the replay, put it in the comments. What really hits home with you the most? I think the hardest one for many is, from checking work to building confidence, because you're so caught up in the day-to-day, it's really easy to go in and jump in and fix something and solve that problem immediately. But if you keep doing that, you can really frustrate team members, and they feel like they don't have, they feel like the owner, the business doesn't have any confidence in them. I think that's one of the hardest for many that I see. So you can manage a process into consistency. So you can be able to say, okay, this is the way we're going to do it over and over and over again, right? And you can have that be consistent, but you can only lead a person into ownership. You're not, that's not going to be with a process, no way, shape, or form. You have to lead them. So let's talk about the payoff. When you lead instead of manage, your day changes. So here's what happens. Your techs help each other instead of waiting on you. Your advisors own communication with customers. They get it. They understand it. You finally get back time to focus on the business instead of being trapped in it. So you gain control by letting go, right? That's the paradox of leadership. You actually gain control by letting go. So this week, I always leave you with an action step, and I leave you with a pro thinking tip. So this week, catch yourself managing where you could be leading. Pay attention and ask one simple question. What do you need to take this on fully? That's what you ask a person. What do you need to take this on fully? That's how ownership starts. And then you hand that off to someone. And then a pro thinking tip. If you want your shop to be profitable, sustainable, and enjoyable, stop managing every detail and start leading your people. So I'm glad that you were here for this week's Auto Shop Success in 15 minutes. Join me next week, and we're going to be able to tackle one shift at a time that gives you more time, more profit, and more freedom. So that's it for this week. Have an enjoyable week, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for being here.